And welcome everyone to another week of the CBC podcast. I am Mitch. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at 692 tweets and 692 pics. The links will be in the description. Hopefully, fingers crossed, in the link tree section of the description thingy. And this week I'm joined by Tristan.
The same. You can look at the link tree in the description for all my socials. I'm also on Twitter at isjchance. I'm still not buying Twitter Blue, so you may not be able to find me.
It's only $8.
Yeah, don't pay the muskrat.
Word.
And of course, I say of course, he wasn't here last week, so it can't be of course because he did.
I didn't want you guys slandering about The Rock in front of me. I couldn't do it.
I mean, you're still getting paid in Zoa.
Yeah, you're right.
That's unfortunate. But yeah, Ricardo's here to spread the Rock slander or slander.
Hello, everyone. Twitter, RC Imperious. That's all I got. That's the only promotions I got. I'm sorry.
Oh damn. Well, it's been an interesting week, to say the least. Some wild stuff happened.
A lot of wild stuff.
Yeah. But before we get into the wild stuff, we have the Spider Within from Spider-Verse getting a short film.
I
can't remember where are they showing this thing? I want to say Cannes, but I think my brain just defaulted to Cannes. But I know it's not right.
I'm trying to remember because it's actually during a film festival.
It's a film festival.
Yeah, it's a film festival. Trying to remember because I had it on the tip of my tongue.
This is why we need because I don't do notes. I just write the topics down. It's like, yeah, dude.
I just look into the sky and see what comes to me.
See if I can.
I mean, depending on where you are.
It was gonna be at the Agency International Animation Film Festival this June.
That's still one, yeah. I mean, this is cool. I like this idea.
It is because people were worried. I'm still not sure. People were worried that it's gonna be. This was supposed to be cut. They're worried that it's probably going to be cut content from the whole original film that probably didn't go anywhere. But if it isn't, then it's good. It's pretty.
Even if it is, cool. We get to see it. That's great.
Yeah. For people who don't know about the new animated short for Across the Spider-Verse, it's the Spider Within is the animated short. It follows Miles's day-to-day duties as being Spider-Man, him trying to balance being a teen, superheroics, and schoolwork. But along the way, he suffers from a panic attack, and it's a small little journey about learning that even the best of people can ask for help, and it doesn't make you any less of a person to ask for it. So it's a really good lesson to learn. So it's gonna be really good. I'm just hoping that or most people are assuming it's probably going, unless they do it for the theatrical, of Across Spider-Verse, it's probably going to be a DVD exclusive.
I was going to say, I bet you it's going to be
on
a
Prime
bonus feature.
Yeah,
I could see it being on Prime if they don't do it as a bonus feature.
Could go on Prime, yeah. That's a good shout, actually.
Yeah.
I forget that Sony and Amazon are like.
Yeah, Sony doesn't like Disney like that.
Well, that's because Amazon will pay for it.
I say, at least with Amazon, you might actually get Silk in our lifetime. Whereas,
are you sure?
Well, I mean, the amount of reshuffling Disney Plus is doing with these shows, the Marvel ones, you ain't gonna see it in our lifetime. No way.
Man, the shuffling from every streaming service. I mean, look at Warner Brothers Discovery with Batman. They was like, here, take our Batman series. And I was like, all right.
The J.J. Abrams one,
yeah.
Because they need the money. But
they need money and they need content. They got neither.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure I'm trying to figure out how long it's gonna be because animated shorts usually run anywhere from like 40 minutes to I guess like
to an hour.
yeah, well or less. So I'm thinking
I'll say I'm expecting like 30 minutes.
yeah, that'd be pretty good.
I think 30 minutes is a decent chunk. Don't need to be much more than that. But yeah, I'm excited to see it. See how it comes out.
Yeah, me too. I want to know how Miles is doing in being the only hero in Manhattan, in New York,
I hate to break
or
it
in
to you.
the
If he's
world.
having panic attacks, he ain't doing well. Spoilers, by the way.
I mean, if we're being fair, Peter has them too. It's just that he internalizes them, so he doesn't show it.
So hopefully, like, it has his mum in it and everything, and they can actually develop that relationship a bit more.
Most likely, because from the synopsis, it's him reaching out, and since his uncle's not there anymore, most likely it's gonna be either his mom or his dad that he reaches out to, that he can't keep doing this.
Didn't his dad die in the movie?
No,
No,
it was his
his
uncle.
dad survived.
It was his uncle that died. Yeah, his parents.
That shows you how long ago I watched that movie. I actually can't remember.
Yeah, you're getting the.
I'm thinking of the game, aren't I?
Yeah, in the video
Yeah.
game, his dad dies.
That's what I'm thinking of. Yeah.
You know, after now realizing, like, I wouldn't be surprised because if you look at the Spider-Man, like the Spider-Verse 2 trailer, and now with this, I wouldn't be surprised if like he kind of reveals his identity to his parents in this movie. Because he's like, look, because who else would he talk to?
Because doesn't she know? Doesn't she know in the trailer?
Yeah, it kind of
it's
looks.
Implied.
It kind of alludes like they know.
It's implied because if we're going from the original run, Rio, before she dies by a gunshot from a Venom incident, she already knew that Miles was Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So this could also further that, and I guess we'll spin this in with it. There was some rumors saying that we would be getting Across the Spider-Verse 2 minute and 30-second new trailer within the next couple of days at the time of this recording. So it's really I guess for me anyway, it's insightful that they are now starting to promote the movie after so long.
When's the movie coming out?
It's
Like
June this year,
right?
Yeah, June this year, I think.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
it's that close. I thought it was like November or something.
No, they haven't pushed it back yet. You're thinking of the last
Bro,
one.
this man said yet, please. Not again.
I say with the amount of marketing it's got, I wouldn't be surprised if they do push it back.
Because the last first it was, I think it was the summer of 2022, and then when it got closer to that, it got pushed back to October, and then it got pushed back to the summer June of 2023.
Man, COVID just screwed everything up.
Right.
Yeah, the release date is June 2nd, or in that so like late May, early June.
Nice.
Awesome.
All right, moving on to Ricardo's favorite section of this week's show.
My favorite section. What is it? The Rock?
Yeah, you wish it was The Rock.
Shazam 2?
I think we all wish it was The Rock. Jonathan Majors has.
Oh crap!
He not to laugh at the hum because but yeah, he has been because I've been confused on this. He was accused of assault by what we're to believe is his girlfriend, or was his girlfriend at the time.
Yeah.
But she recanted her statement, but the DA for New York still charged him.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is that what went down?
Yes, that's what went down, because we had like multiple, I guess, eyewitness reports, and what happened was that assuming is that apparently Jonathan was the one who called the cops and made the statement, and she recanted what transpired after the police got got to where they were at, and apparently the DA still went through with the charges, even though she herself said that she wasn't going to press charges anymore. And I guess I'll just go with what some evidence, because his lawyer said that they had evidence of what actually transpired.
That evidence is heavy quote marks, by the way.
Yeah,
this
they
is
have.
sus
Yeah,
as
they
all
have.
hell.
Yeah, because they
And
haven't.
mind you, he's one of the best lawyers from Disney too.
Yeah, and they haven't actually shown what actually happened. But if they
Have they
do,
actually revealed the footage of it?
no, not yet.
No,
No, it's just a text
They
message.
just said,
but the lawyer wanted to reveal the text messages. That doesn't really help Jonathan Major's case.
I was
that's
gonna
for
say
sure.
it makes him look so much worse.
Yeah.
It looks
and-
worse. It
yeah,
looks very bad.
Yeah, for me anyway, I'm just gonna say I want to get everything, like all the information out, so you can actually make a good assessment from what's going to happen. It's very I guess it's very saddening that abuse victims have to go through this because of the very few that would want to use this for pettiness and trying to ruin someone potentially livelihood because they had a falling out and something happened. That being said, what do I say? Like, no one is allowed to hurt or touch anyone of anyone for any reason, and it, like, for me, from looking at this, having some assuming possibilities, we don't know everything yet. Like, the best worst case scenario for Majors here is that it comes out, because it looks pretty it looks pretty sus on his end, is that they actually both escalated the incidents, but Majors took it too far. Like, that's like from my viewpoint, that's the best worst case scenario for him, because from what I'm thinking, well, before getting any more information from the next couple of days to weeks, is that potentially she probably did try and go through his phone. He said no. Words have been said, and assuming if it does happen, that she probably did escalate a little bit, but Jonathan took it too far. And
I say best case scenario for
Yeah.
this is they've had a fight, right? They've had an actual verbal fight, not a physical one. Like, she's got his phone, he's grabbed it, taken it away, and he's accidentally like clocked her in the face or something. That's the best case, right?
Yeah.
Whereas it wasn't intentional.
Yeah.
Worst case is like because he went to Yale, didn't he?
Yeah.
Was it the Yale? Like, everyone he went to Yale with, or not everyone, but a few people he went to Yale with have come out being like, yeah, he's always been like an emotional and a physical abuser.
Yeah.
And the text messages of her saying, "I told them it was my fault." Like, that's abuse victim language.
Yeah.
That, and she also filed a restraining order, which they have granted as well. I want to say that. So that
bit
also
I did not
doesn't
know.
help.
So
That was also revealed after the court, that she was granted a restraining order against Majors. So it's like,
yeah, like, we could be looking at a Johnny Depp Amber Heard situation.
Yeah.
Not as high profile, but where neither of them really came off great in this situation.
That's like the middle ground of here, is where, even though he potentially probably took it too far, is that both of them aren't technically in the right in either situation. So I just want to get this correct, because you have this. I think now, especially anything with internet culture, is that people want to be first instead of being correct. So yeah, and that's not how you're supposed to be doing things, because you can potentially ruin someone if the facts that you're trying to present aren't correct. Because even like stuff for smaller times that I had no interest in knowing, is that even like a month ago there was like another scandal with minor YouTubers, where someone kind of presented that they were being assaulted by another YouTuber when the facts came out that it was just a petty squabble between but potential significant others, and that none of that ever happened, and people jumped on this one YouTuber when they came out with all the facts, and that's where it's very saddening that abuse victims, any kind of victims can't be automatically assumed that they're telling the truth. That
Yeah,
now,
because that is a massive problem, especially
yeah,
right now, because this came
yeah,
out, people instantly, without knowing everything, just reading the
yeah,
headline, it's false accusation, falsely
yeah,
accused. It's like, you don't know that.
yeah,
Like, everyone liked what he's been doing with Kane,
yeah,
right? And with Creed and everything,
yeah,
what was that? Lovecraft Country.
yeah,
Everyone's loved what Majors has done right now. That's why he's been getting like bigger and bigger and bigger in the industry. But just because you like someone doesn't make them infallible.
yeah,
Like,
Yeah.
both things can be true, right? He can be a
yeah,
fantastic actor and a scumbag at the same time.
yeah,
But the fact that they've said there is video evidence, so maybe don't jump to one conclusion or another until we see that, right?
yeah.
Not to
That's
compare
that.
it to Ezra Miller's
Yeah,
situation, but Ezra Miller's situation, we saw that video of him or them choke slamming
yeah.
that random person,
Oh, this
right?
man was everywhere. There's enough priests for Ezra.
Yeah, it's that's what I'm saying. It's saddening that victims can't be automatically assumed that they're telling the truth because, like most people said, it only takes one person. And from what has transpired over the years, is that people will, I guess, use that against the actual. We'll use that in favor of victims being assumed correct to where. Um, what's the saying? It's like you'll need to sacrifice a few to make it sure that the actual victims are are taken care of. I'm like, no, you don't do that. You don't potentially ruin people's lives
No.
just because you don't want to accept that you were wrong in this situation.
Yeah, it's a really harmful mentality,
Yeah,
right? Because it's no matter what they do, they never get believed.
yeah,
They come out, oh no, you're lying. It's false. You're just after money. But then, no, well, what if it actually was true?
yeah. That's why um
Like, how
the
many actual
yeah. I think it's like
cases like
I
this
I
turn out false?
I think it's about it's really small. I think it's around 10% are false.
I mean, in fairness,
So
10% is still a
yeah,
disgustingly high percentage.
yeah,
But
that's the
when,
thing where
when it's
it's
90% is actual legit, like, come on,
yeah,
man, we can't.
that's the thing where it's like where people will give out the statistics and it's like it's small but still relatively big, and it's like, well, who cares? I'm like, well, what you like, you're gonna forsake the 10% that it's false accusations, and just because you want to help the victims, and nothing, it's really sad, but you have to make sure you have all the things right. Like currently right now, it's like that's why I was saying that I want all of the information out in the forefront so I can make a
Mm,
better call. And that's what I'm saying. From what it sounds like, until we get more information, is that the best case scenario for Majors here is that both of them potentially aren't really good people, but he took it too far.
yeah. And also, like, can we not have this mentality of, you know, oh, why is it when one comes out, the rest come out? It's like, that doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, it
Like,
does.
and
It,
until you're in that situation of you
yeah,
are being the victim of an abuser, you don't know how you're going to react. Same as
yeah.
any situation. You can't say how you're going to react. It's just
Yeah,
simple as that.
it's like it's a 50-50. Either people come out, more potential victims come out and say that this actually happened, or more come out in favor of a person and they potentially don't know like the full details and are only following from what they said from
Mm.
said person. So it's like more come out and it's either true, more come out and it's false. You don't know until the facts are actually checked.
Mm. So all you're doing by having that mentality is, you're being naive as all hell, and just shut up. Like, just, honestly,
Yeah.
just please.
Just
But
just let
on the
let
other
the
hand,
invest.
all you're doing is just hurting actual legit victims, and your argument of like, well, why does no one ever come out and say it? Why do people always wait? It's because people like you.
Yeah.
Like, if you have that mentality, people don't come out because of people like you. Not believing them straight away. Like, you can believe the victim while also not judging the accused off the bat. Right?
Yeah.
You don't have to be one way or the other.
Yeah. And that's the way I'm coming at this, because it's like I said before, it's really sad that people can't tell the truth all the time. Is that you have to make sure you have it correct. So that's what I have. And then people, I'm not so sure if I'm not sure if it is like true, but I think assuming after this is that Disney and Jonathan Majors had some meetings about where to go from here, but nothing else.
Well, this is the thing, right? We're going to end this topic on this one.
Yeah.
If you're worried about billion-dollar IP for a billion-dollar company, his character is literally the easiest to recast.
Yeah, most potentially, yeah, it is.
Variants.
Who's going to give a crap if Kane comes out looking slightly different? No one. No, people complained about how Doctor Strange's variants are all just Benedict Cumberbatch, whereas you get like Loki and it's all different. That's shades of Loki, but no one complained about Kang all looking like Major, so you can just mix it up a little bit. It doesn't matter.
They changed Cassie like 10 times.
Exactly.
That's the thing with Strange. I only saw the variants that look like him. That was it.
Because he's gorgeous.
But,
man ain't wrong. Man ain't wrong. He's a very handsome lizard man. But yeah, it sucks. If it's true, it sucks. It's unfortunate, but hey, life goes on, right?
Yeah.
Or at least for us and the wider audience of these movies at large, life will go on. You will get over the fact that it's not Majors anymore for one reason or another. But as it stands, as time of recording that I've seen, he's still in the role. This is still ongoing. We will no doubt, like Victoria Alonso, finish recording this and something will come out. Or a version of a story will come out, which we'll get to that later on.
Yeah.
But our next topic is now I'm under the impression this is speculation from Deadline. It's not actually confirmed. But it is from Deadline, and Deadline's not exactly a rumor mill. But it sounds like Clayface will be the villain in the Batman Part 2.
Which is very, very refreshing, but with everyone else saying don't get your hopes up, because it's going to be a version that you don't want, because
it's a cautious W. It's like but making the Riddler the Zodiac Killer, that's totally fine. It works.
But wasn't that the Riddler's thing in the first Batman though? Because didn't he wasn't the inspiration for the Riddler in the
that's what I'm saying.
Like
making
Zodiac
the Riddler the Zodiac Killer work, like that's fine. You can do that with like an already, I say, quote, grounded character. Like he's just a guy, right? Like you can make him that sort of a character and take inspiration from there. Whereas something like a Clayface, yes, Clayface in like the Silver Age or whenever he was just a guy, like that was a thing. But everyone wants fantastical.
For the Riddler, when his first appearance happened, potentially, he was just a guy because he was just a one-off villain. So they could get away with that. But for Clayface, people most know him for is his monstrous form of him getting into some chemicals and essentially turning his own entire genetic makeup into as moldable clay, and he could impersonate anyone. But for people who don't know, is that his first appearance, he was I guess an ordinary villain technically, where the only power he had was to change his face,
which I guess I'll take, as long as it's like not like a mask, right?
Yeah, no,
I don't want him like Jason Voorhees around here just putting faces on his head.
Like, well, that's the fear, is that they'll go that route where it's just him potentially, using a mask that could change his facial appearance and his voice. That's literally it, and that's what people fear, is because they want to have that fantastical Clayface to where when he reveals himself, he's just some giant mass of clay.
I just want to know how he kills his victims in this movie. Like
suffocates him.
Like he'd be like, hey there, little kid, want to play with some clay? And I don't know. It's just.
Are we making Clayface the bad P? Because I ain't saying that on YouTube. Like, there's no way I'm saying that. Instant demonetized. No.
Because from what I know is that most of Batman's villains, oddly enough, they won't hurt kids.
Hey, who knows? In the Reeves verse, anything is possible. Gotham is wild. They had that one kid almost getting hit by a car. He got saved off that whole movie.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that kid.
I need to
watch that movie again. I can't remember half of it. No. Good movie though. I like the Batman.
Yeah.
I know. I'm happy that Clayface is going to get some love, but I'm kind of, I am that cautionary going into this with just don't. If they do the halfway point of it, he's just a guy who can change his face. Fine, I'll take that. But as long as it's more, he actually has the clay face, not I just put on a mask of like a clay mask and bam. I don't
trust Reeves. My thought process for Clayface is like very stagnant because again, this universe is so grounded. I can't think of anything of Clayface just being,
But I think you can get away with like a more fantastical Clayface in this, and I think that's like where this version is that so grounded. I think you can get away with it because of that.
You think he has a clay gun?
I mean, why not?
Well, from his original appearance, it was just his face, and I don't think he used a gun. For what I'm trying to look up, he used a knife. So
he's British, is what he's saying.
Yeah, he starts slashing people as well.
We have to wait. And apparently, they pitched the movie, or someone's pitched the movie for Clayface, and it's like, yeah, we don't need that.
Okay, so that's what it was. I guess
I think that's why Deadline's saying Clayface is the villain in Batman 2, because there's been a movie pitched of him.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it was an actor that pitched it.
Was it an actor or was it a director? Okay,
so I was trying to look into this, but apparently from his I'm assuming it's correct because it's kind of let's see, because I'm trying to get all this information down. Apparently the reason why Clayface was a murderer is because he just started offing acting members of a remake of his horror movie in his first appearance. So they could go that way a little bit if they're gonna do the original version of Clayface.
I'll be honest, I kind of want Matt Reeves to do that now. Yeah. Just lean into the cheese and make it grounded.
Yeah. I mean, they potentially could and keep Batman as a weirdo bat detective trying to figure out who is offing all these actors on this horror movie remake.
Yeah, how does the world's greatest detective actually solve the crime of who did it when who did it can change their face in the whim?
Why is he using green Play-Doh this time? Why red?
Because it's modern time and green can't be seen on the screen.
Yeah, he's using green screen effects.
Oh my god, that would be cool. That would be so cool.
It's CGI, but the C stands for clay. There you go.
Oh man.
Basically, what we just pitched there is Mysterio.
Yeah.
I kind of want to see it, but then if it's like Mysterio, then like it's they're gonna have a scene with the clay monster, but it's just CGI.
100%, and he's just mad at Bruce Wayne for calling his something vomit. This is his entire origin point. But yeah, I mean, I'm excited for Clayface one way or another.
Yeah, I am too. It's just that now I'm like kind of concerned about what if this is all true. Like, what type of Clayface are we getting? Are we getting the original Golden Age Clayface? Or are we getting the Silver Age monster?
I will go into this movie excited, but kicking and screaming on the entire way, depending on how this turns out. Because
I trust Matt Reeves.
I trust Matt Reeves, but it's still a fear. it's still a fear. You know, if he does he's just a guy, right? As long as it's good, just make it good. But you can make it better if it wasn't just a guy. Just do the same thing, but make him all goopy. Oh, yeah, have you got anything else to say on that one?
No.
No. Right. Well, moving swiftly on from that one. Me and Tristan last week talked about the whole Victoria Alonso firing, how it was a bit weird and a bit sudden.
Still some more info came out. It's still kind of weird, but
it's still very weird.
Yeah,
it doesn't make sense in the
yeah.
It's like Paltrow's court case, right?
Yeah,
I mean, apparently she won that. So
yeah, she did for $1.
Yeah,
damn.
Yeah, it's weird because from her side, it was unjust termination on her end, but Disney came back saying that there was a clause in her contract saying that she can't advertise.
She had a breach of contract.
Yeah,
or multiple breaches of contract.
Yeah,
which,
she couldn't advertise for a competitor.
Yeah, because the timeline of this was we did that recording because saying that unexpectedly been let go. We didn't know why just yet. Disney then came out saying it was, or not. I don't think Disney directly came out and said it, but an article dropped from like one of the trades saying there was like multiple HR complaints about her. There was Disney did it because there was breach of contract, and then Alonso's side came out saying that that's ridiculous. It's all because she didn't want to blur out LGBT flags in Ant-Man for certain markets. That's my understanding of what her side said anyway. Which, because the second this came out, people were like, "Oh, where were these things?" It's like it would have been at the start and at the end where he's walking down the streets in San Fran.
Yeah,
they're literally the only two scenes in that movie where he would have had them, right? But
yeah,
I find that bit hard to believe.
It's very hard to believe, but it's not out of the realm of possibility.
No, but the way they've been. It's not. No, you're right. It's not out of their own possibility, but it's just the way that studio's been acting was, not editing a movie for China and giving up that entire market.
Yeah, at the time, then that's. But
they've also been doing, like, cutting out LGBT scenes and images from movies anyway recently. So like, why now? Sort of a thing.
Yeah.
And if they didn't say anything when she spoke out against Chapek with the whole "Don't Say Gay" bill in Florida, like, why now? But they didn't do anything then. Like, why is it now? But it's a weird situation. Really we still don't have the full story. Amazingly, I don't think we ever actually will with this one.
Because to me, I know a lot of people are saying that they're probably just going to settle out of court for the most part.
Oh, 100%, yeah. No, there's no way the mouse is going to want to drag this out any further. They'll just pay her off the shop. But part of it's we need something because it's just it's a crapshoot at the minute, but
yeah, it's just it's just very weird. Where it's just, to me anyway, it's just like both sides are nitpicking at who is the worst entity in this situation.
you know, if she did breach her contract, they have every right to terminate, especially if it is true that she was warned.
Yeah, that's the thing where I'm like
it or not.
Yeah, that's the thing where I'm like, if it's in the contract and they warned her multiple times not to advertise, she did it anyway. Then yeah, they can terminate her out of nowhere if they want to.
But I still go back to the original article where it was said that Feige knew they were going to do it but didn't intervene. Yeah. So either Feige does not care about people and it's just like typical Hollywood backstabbing and all this.
No, you know what I feel like about Feige? I feel like anytime someone has done Feige wrong, he's like, you know what? Skedaddle.
Yeah.
And I feel like if Feige is never really defending anybody that is leaving Marvel Studios, it's usually for a reason.
Yeah, it's like, that's the side I lean on more. It's like this guy, we've known over the years, this guy has fought for everything he thinks is right.
Yeah,
like the fact that he just kind of went, I guess. So thanks for 15 odd years. Like,
he's on the phone call like good riddance. Find a new job.
It's after trying to be that nice guy and getting a sandwich thrown at myself. I'm just gonna just let it play out. Well, yeah, it's really weird that from the reports is that Feige knew about the meeting before the actual layoff, but didn't do anything. Just let it happen. So
that to me just speaks to that's the loudest part of it all.
Yeah.
But, we haven't had any new details yet. Maybe we won't. Maybe we will. Part of me hopes you. I just want just some third party come out and say something, please. Because the whole LGBT stuff is just the article even says it's just Disney insiders speculating.
Yeah,
that it's not anything concrete. So, but at the same time, the HR complaints lead very much in line with some VFX. Whistleblowers coming out saying that she did make a toxic workplace. But
was it all last year where it was like the biggest offender was Marvel Studios with their production times being so short, and that's why all of the CG was really rough because they didn't have time to touch up. And I think it was because people were just a little tangent here, is the people complained how come a lot of the CG was way worse than the last phase of the Infinity Saga, where you have Thanos and he looks amazing, and then you get to now everything's rough and rushed, and that was part of the deadlines. So I was like technically who's to blame for that? And if she is the head of she
was the head.
She was. Then part of that blame is solely on her for whatever actually happened, from hiring crews to do the special effects.
And in turn with this, apparently, Loki's been delayed till next year. Loki season 2.
Oh wow!
What?
Apparently, it's not official. This is from leaked scoopers on Twitter.
Oh,
it's apparently it's no longer got this the September mandate is being pushed to next year.
Yes, that's the thing. Because it went from it went from the summer to the September, and then now from that it's next year because Secret Invasion was supposed to come out last year. I think if I was correct. It's supposed to come out
I think it's supposed to be at the end. Yeah, then it's supposed to be early this year, which obviously hasn't materialized, and now it's summer this year.
It's June 21st this year. So I couldn't believe it if they just it's still not ready, because from what Feige is currently doing is that they're gonna take their time now instead of trying to just push things out to get that subscriber count up. So.
So it looks like, if that's legit, we will literally only end up with Secret Invasion and Echo on Disney Plus this year.
Yeah.
Which part of me is like, fine, cool.
I mean, technically, it's seeing how it is. Technically, it'd be a little easier to do Secret Invasion because you can do scrolls with practical effects for the most part, so you don't have to worry about CG that much compared to some of the other shows.
It's true.
Mm-hmm.
It's very true. But yeah, this is. Excuse me. This I don't think we'll ever fully know.
Yeah.
Not that you ever fully know the details of these situations, right? But you'll never. They are just going to settle it out of court. They're not going to go unless Alonso's like, no, I'm not taking a settlement. I'm dragging you, kicking and screaming.
Yeah.
But then you're taking on the Disney lawyers. But then, if the Disney lawyers now are anything like Major's lawyer, then I think they're going to be in trouble. But that's my perspective. They would also move to Florida and live in their own self-governed county.
Oh, that Florida's trying everything to take that away. Like in turn, Disney's like, do that, we're gonna leave. and the funny thing about that is that the people living in that area don't want Disney to leave because they're paying for most of the taxes and stuff.
Yeah,
in that area, and it's like the hard, like the bad part about it that's not it's just like dark funny is that other states are lining up saying if Florida kicks you out, you can come to us. We'll give you the same deal that they gave you originally.
Christ, the mouse brings in the money, whether you like it or not. They bring in the money. But moving on. We'll leave that one there. To end this on a bit of good news, in an ironic twist of good news, really, because layoffs are never a good thing.
Yeah,
but sometimes the right person gets laid off, and right now, the right person got laid off. Ike Perlmutter is finally out of Marvel.
Kevin Feige said, "Get out of here, skedaddle."
Yeah, it's like amid the 7,000 layoffs, I got the can as well. So, which is weird because
Ike and the rest of his team, all of the people loyal to Perlmutter, like they are gone.
Yeah, which is
Inhumans are done.
Yeah, people.
Oh no!
Yeah, which people were making
the monkey paw. Come back, Ike, please.
Yeah, which is like people were making fun of it because they're saying, "What is he like? What was he doing all this time?" When they're just wait until his contract expired. Essentially, just tell him to sit on the bench and just wait. that's
pretty much yeah.
But reason people don't know the reason why people don't like Ike is that he's a
racist old white guy.
Yeah. Yes. And he goes, what do you mean? Well, for one example, Disney's was trying to get Black Panther off the ground since the late 90s. Let's put that in perspective. And he was one of the roadblocks saying that people of color don't sell, so he was doing anything in his power to not actually help progress that movie. That's why it took.
Same with Captain Marvel. We should have got the pair of those two specifically about a good 5 years beforehand, at least.
Same thing with the comics as well. He has a hand in like, you trying to bring diversity into my Marvel comics? No way, stay down there. You're not gonna come up. And like all the comic editors is like, finally he's out of here. Everybody's super happy in the comic industry too.
Yeah, that's why it took 20-something years for any diversity in the portfolio of Marvel as a whole started to come out as he started losing power to railroad things. So that's part of the reason why people really don't like him. So
it's also a massive recluse. So,
Oh yeah, yeah, I remember that.
Never see this man again. Like, you'll
Yeah,
have
where
one picture of him from like 6-7 years ago because someone managed to actually catch the vampire.
People were. That was one. I think that's one of the running jokes is where like before the quote unquote current picture, the only picture of him was from like the 80s or 90s, and then and then
it was
after
a
that,
while ago.
yeah, and then someone randomly got a picture of him when he was doing promotions.
So they snapped him through a window, Trump, didn't they, or something like that?
I think so.
It's just like, oh, that's all you need to know. The devil and his baby. But no, this is nothing but a good thing. At least this specific part of it, right? Ike Perlmutter being out of anything is a good thing, and it always will be a good thing. The rest of the layoffs, majority bad. Layoffs suck. Like layoffs are never good.
Yeah, but the whole people are I know people are asking, well, why are they doing it? Well, the reason
it was the NFT division or some crap like
the
that.
metaverse.
It was metaverse stuff. Yeah,
it's like it was a combination of the metaverse not kicking the ground off running. I think it was that, and the amount of projects that they were producing that was going on diminishing returns because of the timetable that the production crew had to not make it as quality controlled as from previous projects. So it was a number of things, and that's when shareholders saying, yeah, you're making us less money, so what's the problem? And that's what started to happen with other I guess people on the know, is that they didn't like the penny pincher calling the shots because they were looking at short-term games instead of the
which is ironic because they're the ones that wanted the penny pincher in charge.
Yeah.
The parks was expensive. Tequila was $10,000.
Oh, well, you're not.
You got a Mando bucket.
That's the funny thing about it. Is like technically you're not wrong. Where they started nickel and diming people, and the people at the parks who, unironically, some of them are shareholders, were getting really mad that they were doing this, especially with like different versions of the fast pass. Weren't really a fast pass where there are still long lines, but they still had to pay extra to wait in those quote unquote short lines.
Yeah, have you seen like how much was like if you wanted to stay at the Star Wars hotel, like 3 days was like over like a whole month's of rent. It was like over $2,000 for like 3 days. It's crazy.
Yeah, and it was
that's Disney for you.
It's because it was essentially diminishing returns because less and less people, even the Disney maniacs, were saying this is way too much, and there was diminishing returns. So that's when they finally said, we don't really like this. You need to do something, and then that's when they started to dig into what was actually profitable, and a lot of stuff weren't profitable because they didn't take the time to think things out, and they were just releasing stuff. So.
Yeah. Now, it might be because I'm just a filthy poor to these people, but I never understood why these companies always price stuff out of anyone's reach. Like, why cater to the one when the 99% is right there? Like, yes, it would take you longer to get the money back, but you have that steady stream and it will just come back eventually.
The whole point to that, it's a weird thing. It's because for some people who are kind of confused, Disney was first came into being as a company in California, and from what Disney himself wanted, he wanted it to be affordable for the people in Southern California. So
it's California's fault, is what you're saying?
No, it's technically it's a skewed viewpoint of it, to where they tried to get more of the locals to come back, so they tried to give discounts and the like to Southern Californians, but even Southern Californians is like, this is a joke. We still can't. You still can't go into the park, even though we live like within driving distance. and it's just begun to spiral out of control, saying that now we only let the people who can actually afford it go. That's because people were complaining about the lines and stuff, and then the people who could afford it at the time are like, yeah, even though we can't afford it, the lines are still horrible, so why go? It's just like really bad. I guess group research on that part, because it's like really weird, especially with the currently where it's essentially just nickel and dime people at this point, because like a lot of people who are Disney heads, depending on their price point, where a lot of their passes have a lot of rainy days, to where there's a lot of certain days of the year they can't go because too bad, you're too poor. And it's just gotten to the point to where they needed to make a change, and this is the change that it's unfortunate that 7,000 people will lose their jobs with it, especially with some top brass, which for obvious reasons, no one's not happy that they're gone. It's just that
no one's going to be sad about losing Paramount.
Yeah, and it's just that hopefully now they can right the ship from what's been going on with trying to think of the short term to the long term, which people like. Look, people who in projects like the long term, because it actually did pay off. And that's what they wanted to continue to do, instead of we need to get such character out in like 2 years so we can get as much money as we can, and whatever happens after that is whatever happens. So
it should also be noted that Marvel Entertainment has been like splintered off and absorbed into different parts of the Disney company now.
Yeah.
But I'm because I lost track of what Marvel Entertainment did years ago. I know they got separated from the studios, but the entertainment's separate from the comic side as well.
Yes.
What was the entertainment side doing?
Originally, they separated, so like they're in different divisions. The comics don't really interact with the studio so much. It's basically
they probably do more so now because isn't Feige in charge of that bit?
Yeah, they do. Yeah. They do more so now that Feige is in charge of that. So Feige would know about upcoming comics and storylines of that nature, and if he wants to use some of what they were doing in the movies and TV shows, then it's a lot easier for him to keep tabs on that. But before, they were more so separate, so they didn't really know what was going on, and that's where you had that reactionary take from the comic side, to where the comics started acclimating more to the movies to get people to read the comics and such. But yeah, it's a really weird thing.
Yeah, Marvel Entertainment no more. Paramount gone good. That's the moral of this story. But yeah, anyone got anything else to say? You've been quiet today, my boy.
Oh no, I'm just trying to see regarding Ike. All I know is, like, the only thing I have to say is I know Kevin Feige's dancing in his house. Sipping on some wine.
Keeping one eye on Alonso.
He was like, man, he was like, finally, Marvel Studios is back at its golden ages.
Dang.
He's like, consistency, finally.
Well, hopefully.
Oh yeah, let me not jinx it now.
I was gonna say, because sometimes the devil you know and all that. No, bet the devil you know and the devil you don't.
The moment I start seeing Kevin Feige not wearing hats anymore, I'm like, something seems off. Why is he not wearing hats?
You wouldn't see him because his bald head would be that's like too shiny.
Well,
it'd be like SpongeBob.
The funny thing about that is that sometimes he does go to places without a hat. So
yeah, I think only when he's forced. If that man could, I bet he sleeps in hats.
Well,
he's like, what movie's coming out? All right, I'm gonna wear this hat.
Well, technically, it'd be easier to wear if you need a bed, so it wouldn't be uncomfortable.
It's true. All right, that's gonna do it for this week, I reckon. So thanks for joining, everyone, and we'll catch you all next time. So bye bye.